Colleen.
Hi,
Welcome
Sue.
to Borders True Romance.
Glad to be here. Thank you.
You know, we're so lucky here in Michigan. I was just talking with some people, and we have so many wonderful romance authors right in this area, right outside our back door. It's been great.
Margot McGuire, Margaret Carroll.
Yeah, and Colleen Gleason,
Wow.
a.k.a., and we're here to talk about
Joss Ware.
Yeah. So tell us, you've got this new paranormal apocalyptic series, right?
Yes.
Okay.
3 books coming in a row, which is kind of nice, January, February, and March. Set in a post-apocalyptic world with a really strong paranormal element. Somebody suggested to me a couple years ago, why don't you write a post-apocalyptic romance? And my first reaction was, you can't set a happily ever after when the world's being destroyed. I mean, so I had to think about it for a while and decided to set the story actually 50 years after all these horrific, devastating events came and basically destroyed civilization and most of the human race as we know it. But the paranormal element comes in with the heroes. I'm sort of calling them the awakening heroes. They somehow missed the apocalypse. They were either asleep, or they time traveled, or they were cryogenically frozen, or something happened, and they wake up 50 years later and they find this world to be different, and they're different. They come in with some metaphysical and paranormal and supernatural abilities.
Wow, it sounds wonderful. Now it's back to back to back. So the first book is coming out the 26th?
The 12th.
Or 12th. I'm
January
sorry.
12th,
January
yep.
12th, yep.
Beyond the Night. And then we have Embrace the Night Eternal, which is coming February 9th, and then Abandon the Night, which is March 9th.
Yeah.
And each of them is, has a happy ever after, and there's a highlighted hero and heroine in each one, but there are overarching and some overarching plots and some mysteries that will be solved in the future.
Yeah. Sounds wonderful. And we've got your videos that you've done with Lou, and Lou is telling us about the end of the world and going through all the trials and tribulations of it on the videos. And there's 5 videos actually airing today, and so we definitely want viewers to take a look at Borders blog at www.bordersblog.com, True Romance. And they'll see all your wonderful videos. You guys did a great job with that. And where were those filmed?
They were done out of Oklahoma City. They were done in a studio. Well, they actually weren't done in a studio. They were done in an office setting. But they were done there. And the purpose was it was to sort of get people wondering what these videos are supposed to be about. And because the books are set 50 years after the events, I wanted the people who are reading them to understand what happened without having to sort of live through it with the characters. So, poor Lou is there as the buildings are falling around, and he's hearing these monster noises outside, wondering what they are, and they're zombies, and just trying to figure out what's going on. And he's on Twitter and he's on Facebook, and even now, if you check Twitter and Facebook, you'll see Lou is out there trying to get some sort of connection with the rest of the outside world, but he can't. Nobody's responding, and if they are, he can't see their responses. So we're having a lot of fun with Lou. And Lou is a recurring character in the series, so you'll see Lou in each of the books. Okay,
that's exciting. Yeah, when I first heard about your series, I thought, wow, is this kind of like Night of the Living Dead? But no.
No sexy zombies. I can't do sexy zombies. I sort of equate the zombies to like the orcs in the Lord of the Rings. They're a pain in the butt, but you got to get through them to get to the good stuff, and they just get in your way. So there's a scene in a shopping mall, in an old abandoned shopping mall, where they're being chased by zombies, and I had a lot of fun with that. I have a lot of fun mixing and juxtaposing our pop culture and our technology with this world that has no infrastructure, no communication, no infrastructure. They have all of our knowledge somewhere. They can find it in a book, maybe in caches on computers, but they can't always actually implement it. So it's really interesting. It's like historical. It's like a weird twist on a historical.
Okay. So. And now tell us about the romantic couple, the hero and heroine. How do they meet? And
yes. Elliot is a doctor, and he, like I said, he woke up to find the world being destroyed. And the story starts about 6 months after he's awakened. And he and his buddies are in a little abandoned Main Street town, just trying to find civilization. And they see these teenagers being attacked by zombies. And the teenagers are not supposed to be out because it's the middle of the night and the zombies are out. And in the middle of this, some woman comes blazing in on horseback and plows right through the zombies, scatters the zombies, and then disappears. And so that's Jade. And that's the woman that he ends up meeting. And she's got her own secrets. She's got her own issues. And she goes on missions. She's got a secret that's why she's out at night. She's got a secret job.
Okay.
So they meet, and he's trying to find a way to live in this new world that suddenly doesn't have anything that he thought he would have: the house with the white picket fence, a job, you know, a wife and kids, and he'd come home after his job as an emergency room physician and they'd be there. But now it's not, there's nothing there like that. There's no way for him to even comprehend living anything like he'd ever thought he'd live. So he's trying to find a home. He's trying to find home now. And Jade becomes that home for him. She becomes that sort of stability, that heart for him. So
sounds like a great happy ever after.
They're happy together, but they got a whole bunch of other problems they have to deal with in the next books. Of course.
Yeah, of course. Sounds great.
Yeah, thank you.
And Joss Ware is also Colleen Gleason. And
Yes.
Colleen, you have, of course, your Garridella series with NAL.
Yes.
And this is a historical vampire series.
It is basically a historical vampire during the time of the historical vampire hunter during the time of Jane Austen. These books are a little bit different than the Joss Ware books, besides the fact that they are. Yeah. How far apart can you be? Historical vampire hunter and post-apocalyptic zombies. Sometimes I think I have a split personality. That's the reason for the new name and the new, just remaking everything, because you just can't juxtapose those two. But the series is complete at 5 books, and it's the story of Victoria Gardella, really a woman living during the time of Jane Austen in a time, of a restrictive society, trying to figure out how she's going to balance this life of hers in which she is required to go out and hunt vampires. It is Buffyistic, but not really. There's a lot of elements that are not, like, for example, she's not the only vampire hunter. She's not the only one with the weight of the world on her shoulders. But there is a sort of an infamous love triangle that is finally resolved in the 5th book. So if you make it to the 5th book, you'll have your team all picked out, and most people were pretty happy with the way it ended. And I'm still getting people asking me to write the book of the guy that didn't, win out, but he won in his own way. So. Yeah, I had a lot of fun with those books.
You have a novella on down the road, right?
I do have a novella.
But you do have a novella, yeah.
Yes, I do. I do have a
about it.
novella with the incomparable Mary Baylog and Susan Crenard and Janet Mullaney and I. We have a collection of novellas coming out. I believe it's September 2010 from HQN, and it's called Bespelling Jane. And each of us took a Jane Austen novel and wrote a novella with a paranormal twist. So Mary Baylog did Persuasion with a time travel element. Susan Crenard did Pride and Prejudice with Mr. Darcy as a vampire. Janet Mullaney did Emma with a dating service for paranormal people. So she's got werewolves and vampires and angels coming in Washington, D.C. needing to be, matched up with somebody. And
fun.
I did a twist on Northanger Abbey. But with vampires.
Okay.
So there's a young woman who thinks that she sees vampires everywhere, and then eventually she runs into one. So that was a lot of fun.
Now I've got to ask you, because you do kind of run the gamut here. What do you like to read?
Well, I don't read much paranormal just because I write a lot of paranormal. In all of my books there's that element, and it doesn't appeal to me because I need to take a break from the paranormal.
Most authors seem to do that.
Yeah.
They like to read something other than what they're writing.
Because you're so much into it, and I just want to make sure that anything I come to, I have my own vision that's not colored by anything, it's just easier to get away from that. So I read a lot of historical. Mary Baylog, Eloisa James. I loved this book. Loved this book. This is one of my favorites. Liz Carlisle has been an auto-buy for me for ages, and this was a great one. I had been waiting for this one, but the new one, Wicked All Day, was my favorite, my recent favorite. Can't think of the heroine's name, but we were waiting for her story for a long time.
Okay.
And then also, of course, Loretta Chase. Love Loretta Chase. So love all them. And then I recently started reading Kylie Brandt. I love this romantic suspense. I love romantic suspense. And this one, is this the last one? Well. But I haven't read it because I have a book to finish first, and it's one of my dangling carrots. So I'll read that when I'm done. Julie James writes such smart, snappy, sassy contemporary romances. Love her dialogue. She's a great person, too. It's always nice to get to know
the authors.
The authors,
yes.
Yeah,
after you read them.
And another one of my huge favorites is Robin Carr. I picked up Virgin River. Do you remember us talking about that way back? And when she sort of just exploded on the scene, I had picked up Virgin River, And I'm at the point now where I'm one of those lucky people, I get to read the books before they get published. So I'm reading the 3rd one in this new series coming out right now.
Got
and
it
I love
already?
it.
Yeah.
She sends it to me.
Oh.
She's so, because I beg her, and I keep telling her who she needs to write next and what and she doesn't listen to me, but that's okay because the books are great. So yeah, those are some of my favorites that I'm reading. And Nora, I cannot wait for the 3rd one in this, in the Bride Quartet. There's something about these books. Women and weddings and friendship, I'm just having a blast with them, and they're just such comfortable, happy, relaxing, happy reads. I really enjoy them.
They're Nora at her best. I mean, characters are what she does well, and they're definitely strong characters in each of the books. Yeah, I
love it. I think
readers are enjoying them. Sales
the
on them
packaging
have
is
been
gorgeous.
phenomenal. Yeah, the packaging.
It's really unbelievable. So yes, love them. Can't wait for the 3rd one. I suppose you probably read it, haven't you?
No.
Oh,
no,
really?
haven't gotten
Okay.
it yet. I know.
I was gonna see what I could do to bribe
myself.
you.
Savor the moment. Yeah,
Yes.
it comes out in May.
And then I don't know when the 4th one's coming. But
sometimes this fall. I haven't gotten the dates on that, but yeah.
I tried to save Bed of Roses to read when all of them were out, but I couldn't.
Yeah. Oh, I know. You know, some people, it's funny with series, I don't know if you found that from your fans, that they buy the books and hold them and then want to read them all together.
Yes.
And then others will read them separately.
Yes.
And of course, you end up having to reread the previous one by the time the next book comes out, so you have the full story.
Yes,
going.
yes. I actually do that to some extent if I can wait, and I do have a lot of people, and that's why I like to say that the series is complete. There's the 5, they're done, the story's done, and so we have a couple little hanging threads, but that's okay. Not any big ones.
Well, you know what? I am so happy that you made it here and had the time to sit down and talk with us and talk with our readers and let them know about your new series as Joss Ware.
Joss Ware, thanks.
And of course, Backless on Colleen Gleason is awesome, so
thanks.
Readers should definitely take a look if they haven't already. But
thanks,
Joss,
Sue.
Colleen, I'm not sure what to call you.
I know, you should, my kids, my husband, they don't know who I am. When I wake up, my husband's like, so who are you today?
But thanks so much for being here.
Thanks so much, Sue. Bye-bye.
Take care.